What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass, like and subscribe. So, wow. I was gonna do a video yesterday when this news dropped it down from the internet heavens, but I have words, but I'm just like, it's just like a slow motion car crash happening, and Sony's the car, and they're crashing into whatever, the Berlin Wall when it was up. I don't know. It's just okay. So, Jimothy Lurcucius, lying, crying, hopping around Europe, flying, video testifying, Ryan is out. I was like, this ain't true. They're like, effective October 2nd or something. I forgot what the date was. I was like, wait, huh? And then the dude that's like one of the board members is gonna take over, one of the Japanese board members. I'm like, what's going on over at Sony? I mean, that's what Destin put down. He's like, they got hacked, they raised the prices, he like listed all the bad things. Jim Ryan's leaving, they got hacked. Is the Sony hack tied to his resignation? He's retiring. That's what Jim Ryan's retiring. No, he's not. He's not retiring. No, he's not retiring. He is being forced out. They're allowing him to say he's retiring because he has so many years. But they're looking at his performance. They're looking at the PlayStation VR 2. They're looking at the PlayStation Portal. They're looking at the hack. They're looking at the FTC case. They're looking at the Activision Blizzard deal, Activision Blizzard King deal. All the things that he has messed up throughout his tenure. I mean, the only thing that's good that people are saying, oh, he's good because they're in the lead, I guess, because they sold more consoles than Xbox or whatever. And I guess they're making money or whatever. But you look at most of it, it's all bad news for customers. It's all bad news for the look of Sony. Like, how do people actually look at Sony as a company, look at PlayStation as a brand, and all the dealings and things that are happening around it, and say, who's in charge? Why is this happening? And I guess they were like, remember I kept saying the heads, the Japanese, guys at the top in Sony and in PlayStation, well, Sony, are looking at this and like, they're looking at the numbers and like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, numbers, that's fine. But they only have so much patience for this foolery, this tomfoolery, these shenanigans from this British dude. Now, the question is, will Sony go back to a Japanese CEO? That's the question. I don't know. That's a very good question. Maybe Mark Cerny will be. No, I don't think Mark Cerny is CEO type. He's in the weeds with all that tech. He don't care about being a CEO. He's just like, I want to make it faster, stronger, better. But it's hilarious that all this misfortune happening to Sony. When was the last time you heard good news? Spider-Man can't make this go away. This looks bad for Sony. Like, if Sony was on top, if everything was going smooth, his plan is going according to his plan, he wouldn't retire. He'd be like, I'm on top, man. Sure, I can skate through this. I ain't gotta do nothing. But no, that's not what's happening. What's happening is everything's falling apart around him. And he set up these things, these games, these services in the PlayStation for the future that are going to fail horribly. So he's like, I'm gonna leave right now. I'm gonna set the timer. I'm gone. So when the explosion happens, I'm not gonna be around. He's bouncing before all this stuff goes to super duper. Oh, look out. That's what's happening. Oof. It's not like when Jack Tretton left, right? When Jack Tretton left, he had it hard because it was PS3. He had to bring them around. And when he left the PlayStation brand in a very nice place. He left when PlayStation 4 was coming out. He was like, psh, Y'all look good, right? All right, cool, peace. And he bounced. Everybody loved him. And then he's like, yeah, look what he left. Look at the legacy he left behind. Good stuff. Jim Ryan's not leaving behind a good legacy. He's leaving behind a train wreck, a plane crash, all the crashes. The satellite came out of orbit. All of that. Frontier crash. That's the ship at Starfield. He's leaving he's leaving behind bad legacy. Name the thing that Jim Ryan did in his tenure that was good. I'm talking about as CEO of PlayStation, not as CEO of Europe, PlayStation Europe, or whatever he was doing over there. Because that's like barely anything, you know. You never hear about those guys. Those like who's the main guy at the Europe PlayStation office? You don't even know. You don't even know that person's name. Okay, that's what I'm saying. He's been there for 30 years. So Phil Spencer's been there longer than 30 years. And he started coding first. So he started in the 80s, boy. So, you know, you want to start measuring stuff. Phil's is bigger. In every single way. The numbers are bigger. The years are bigger. The studios are bigger. Phil came up. Phil was like, psh, I'm not having, and it's funny because, you know, you figure, oh, it's an artistic type, they're not good at business. Nah, Phil got it on lock. He's like, yo, I got this. And the thing about Phil is like the first move he made was a golden move, buying Minecraft. So that's one of the best things they did. And you look at Jim Ryan, what's the first thing he did when he became CEO of PlayStation? I don't even know. Was it raise prices? I think it was. Raise prices to $70. Yo, I could not have predicted this. I was like, man, Jim Ryan ain't going to. Like this, how is he going to leave? And then you think about it, it's like, oh, if that hack is real, which now I'm thinking the hack really is real, and then whatever date they said, October 18th or whatever, we gonna get some dirt. So either he knows it's real, and he's like, I'm gonna leave before that happens, because I'm not gonna be up in here talking to people about this. Nope, not me. Later, boys. Man, it's hilarious. I'm sorry, I can't. It's gonna be a short one because it's just laughing at the ridiculousness that the PlayStation brand is in right now. It's free falling. I've been saying this like most of the generation. I'm like, what is this guy? This guy's in the gamer. This guy, this, that. And I guess I'm not the only person who saw that. I guess I'm not the only person who was saying those things, because somebody up at top was like, yeah, you gotta go. It's time for you to retire, son. 30 years is enough. You got to go. He's like, oh, so I can retire now? Oh, I'm sorry, that's an Australian kind of, sort of. Yeah, think about this. If you're in a place for like decades, when would you retire? Would you retire when you're at the top? You're gonna set it up so that, you know, look, I'm leaving on a good note. I wanna make sure everything's straight. Boom. This is my legacy, boom, right? That's what these guys care about, because they got money. It's not about money. It's about, you know, legacy and all that stuff. Being a good CEO to set up if he wants to do something later. Be like, yo, look what I did. My last job, I hooked it up. I was the best. He can't say that now. I mean, he can say, look at the numbers. I made them so much money. And they were like, yeah, he made the money. And then the smart ones would be like, yeah, but what happened with all the and then the hack? Didn't the hack happen? Like, oh, I wasn't there when that happened. Oh, I wasn't there when that happened. So you can probably attribute that to some of the other uppers at the organization at the time. Anyway, yeah, wow. Like CEOs like him, like Jim Ryan and Don Matrick, don't last that long. Although Don Matrick lasted longer in that position. I'm saying in the CEO capacity, not like a second in command of one of the lower sergeants or generals or however you want to do it. Especially when you're supposed to be the top of the food chain, the best company, the best console, the best whatever, video games, right? And they definitely lost face. They definitely lost market share. It's really, I mean, this whole generation is going to be a great movie / documentary, probably a movie, because they've been making a lot of video game movies because the industry is so big. this will definitely be one of them, because it's crazy, especially with the FTC. So the FTC court case, that'll be one, and then maybe they'll do a whole generation thing. Maybe they'll focus on the CEOs, Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan. I mean, there's definitely different angles that they can go with this type of story, because this is not a ceremonious way to exit as CEO, but he doesn't care. He never cared. That's the thing. Jim Ryan never cared. He never cared about gamers. He never cared about games. All he cared about was making money. He and Strauss Zelnick and Bobby Kotick, they're all of the same ilk. You know what I'm saying? It's all about making money, however it is. Whatever they can do. There's one thing that Jeff Grubb says a lot, and it's true. He says these companies do whatever they can and want to do as long as they can get away with it. As long as they can get away with whatever they're doing, they will do it. And that's the type of CEOs and persons that Jim Ryan is, Bobby Kotick, and the other dude I mentioned. That just escaped my mind. But yeah, so, you know, it's, I said to somebody who made a comment, I think it was Mass Erect maybe, or somebody else, maybe Carla. Shout out to everybody in the comments. They said, yeah, they said something. I said, yeah, it was only a matter of time before he was going to go, whether it's by force or by, I think they are forcing him to retire. I mean, it's the same thing like in any business, like in the post office, for instance. They will offer you an early retirement if they want to get rid of some higher paying positions in order to get the cheaper labor in to cover, you know, to shrink the cost a little bit, because it costs them more money to keep the older timers, because they're at peak salary basically, and you know, it just costs more. They make more literally per hour. So similarly with, you know, I mean, big businesses, they do that. They, and it's a shame, because they'll fire a bunch of people and then hire back or hire some new people at a cheaper rate just to, you know, mess with the numbers. And you know, I don't like that per se. But you know, that's part of the business. So whatever, it's all good. I mean, it is and it isn't. But I mean, the whole him retiring, I mean, it came out of nowhere, right? It's like the hack happened. It's like been every day. It's been like crazy news, and like the bad news. I said this. Well, I made a video yesterday. I didn't even get to upload it, so I'm not even gonna upload. I'm probably just gonna delete it, because I'm like, you know what? That's okay, because this is way better. I was talking about the Platinum Game stuff and how Hideki Kamiya, or I forget his name. I think he's retiring too. He's not retiring. He's leaving Platinum Games to make games somewhere else. Maybe Microsoft's gonna hire him. Anyway, Jim Ryan's out. It's hilarious. I cannot laugh at it, because it's just yo, let me know in the comments below what the hell you think Sony's going. Is Sony really imploding? Like I said, I've been saying it for a while. I mean, the only thing that could save Sony literally is somebody who is a gamer, who's a good CEO, blah 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 blah, and they turn around. They change a lot of these policies. They do goodwill for the consumer. But other than that, you know, I don't see it. I think they've done. Jim Ryan has done so much damage already that I don't think it can be reversed by the end of this generation. So their momentum is like slowing down, and Xbox is speeding up. So by the end of this generation, they would be even. If not, Xbox might just go past them a little bit by the end of this generation, another 5 years or so. Anyway, I appreciate, and I'll check you on the next one. To the wait.